Good afternoon, everybody. Today I have Brenda here with me with Ken and Buck with my plow, and Brenda is going to try her hand at plowing. We decided we'd like to show you a little bit more about my plow, and so often I've been doing the plowing, so it's hard to kind of explain things, but today we're going to try to have Brenda plow, and then maybe I can explain things better about this plow. It's a pretty windy day, but hopefully with our audios, with the wind thing on them, the wind won't be too bad. So this is Brenda's very first time at trying her hand at plowing, and what do you think about that, Brenda?
I'm not sure what to think. I have done a lot more things with the horses than I thought I would, so maybe I'll like it, you know? Maybe it is something I'll feel good about doing.
Yes, we'll hope she does. So I'm going to get her started, and I'm going to explain a whole bunch of things because there's a lot to talk about with this plow and with plowing in general. Before we start, as you can see, we had showed you in our last video, I guess it was, Andy came out here and did a little bit of plowing. He just plowed just a little bit, but you can see the difference between this plowing here and that plowing over there. That's because that was corn ground last year and this is sod ground, and so that's why it looks different. We're not really concerned how far we plow today or even this fall, because I'll probably seed all of this down no matter what we get. And if I plow in the fall, this soil will just mellow right out nicely. Come spring, it'll be easy to harrow up and seed down, and it plows nice enough that there'll be very little sod to deal with. Andy has been doing a great job of keeping a fairly straight furrow, and so because this is all new to Brenda, there's a chance that on the ends she might get into a little bit of troubles, but as she starts plowing along the straightaways, I'm sure the horses will be great and she'll do just fine. So I'm going to explain a few things. Because we know Buck is faster than Ken at times, if you throw this line over there, there's a good spot to hold that. It stays kind of there, it puts a little more pressure on Buck, and you can stop anywhere along this stretch. Just tell him to hoe and then ask me any question, or even ask me as you're going along, but we'll try to explain what you're doing, and you can learn what to do and how to do things.
I don't know anything about any of these levers.
Right. So right at the moment, everything's set to go. So what I want you to do is just start plowing, and keep in mind that Buck is a little bit faster than Ken is when he is not in the furrow. Ken is in the furrow right now. Buck is really good in the furrow, and he tends to walk better in the furrow, but they work pretty good just as is. So go ahead and start. Gather up your lines and just ask them to go, and just steer them so they stay in the furrow. So Ken stays in the furrow.
Careful step.
I was a little bit concerned with the moisture. We have not had much moisture lately. We've got a lot of rain coming in tomorrow, but we really haven't had that much moisture. So moisture has a lot to do with how well it plows. But this is looking pretty nice. There's plenty of moisture to plow nice. This plow does a beautiful job. This is a white horse two-way plow. In other words, there's two plows on here, as you can see. And so what we do is go a straight furrow all the way to the other end of the field, and then we turn around, swap plows, and come right back the same furrow. There's several advantages to this plow. In my situation, what it does is eliminates the dead furrow, so I can keep the field a little bit smoother. Over the years, I've plowed so often, I've plowed this field going lengthwise, that way to that way, and I've had plows that weren't a two-way plow, so I have ended up with dead furrows, and they're noticeable in the field. And so I'm trying to, by going crossways in the field, it should help eliminate some of those dead furrows. As you can see also on this plow, there is a leaf. This yellow thing right here is what they call a leaf spring. So when you hit a rock, that will automatically come up out of the ground and go back down in, and you don't even stop. We also have what we call a coulter. in front of the plow, which is right here. And you can see on that, the one that's actually operating the plow that's working, it cuts a nice straight path in front of the plow. And that's why we have such a straight cut here without any grass being overturned, because it's cutting a path. And then the plow, all it does is flip it over. The horses seem to be walking really, really nice. When we get closer to the end of the field, I will stop Brenda and I'll explain a few things as to how to turn on the end of the field. In most of my videos that I've shown you, it has been with 3 horses instead of 2. It is actually obviously a lot easier to pull when you have 3. So we can go pretty well non-stop. With 2 horses, of course, it's a lot more work, so they need rest. I don't generally rest them too much in the field. I will just go a certain amount of time till I feel they're tired, and I will stop them quite often, take them to the barn, and then I will be doing other stuff while they're resting. So I'm not just sitting here on the plow waiting for them to get rested. As you can see, we're plowing 6 to 8 inches deep. Okay, stop there, Brenda.
Oh.
Okay, so I'll explain several things. Oh. So you want to walk them right up to the electric fence, or pretty darn close, and you'll see where Andy was pulling the plow up. When you're ready to pull the plow up, you push this lever right here all the way down and hold it there.
Okay.
If everything goes perfect, the dogs in this wheel will just pick that plow right up. Sometimes it doesn't work perfect, so I tend to grab my lines in my right hand and grab this. When you push this in, this handle will slide up. See that right there? That will slide up. Don't do it now.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Back here.
Oh.
So when you push that, this lever will actually release the plow.
Okay.
So as it's going up, I usually come over my hand and kind of help push it down. And in all one swift movement, I continue on. Maybe I should go one time and you just watch me. Would that work better? Or you think you might try it?
Oh, you can do it first.
I mean,
I can try it.
okay.
I don't
So
mind.
all you do is just push this lever, the plow will come out of the ground, but just help push this along, and then it'll drop into one of these holes up here.
But really, so the plow is going to be at the end of the...
I will tell you exactly when to push it. How's that?
Okay, because I'm worried about like not being able to see when they're about ready to run into the fence. That's what I'm worried about.
All right, go ahead and start them.
Careful step.
Okay, now. Oh, that's good, but I hollered who, of course, but actually what you want to do is, as this, while you're doing all of this, you want to turn them to the right also. Let me just fix this, just a little bit of furrow here that flopped over, which happened because you kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Which I stopped them too, but.
I think I'll like it better at the other end when I don't have to worry about them running into a fence.
Right, but at the other end, they're going to want to turn to the right to go to the barn, and you need them to turn to the left.
Well, they should know they're not going to the barn yet.
Doesn't matter. Okay, so your plow is up. You're safe to start turning. So turn off to the right.
Yep. But if you take your foot off of here, does it do anything? Does it go back?
You want to take your foot off it.
Oh, you do? Like I take right now?
Yeah. Because otherwise it actually can drop back down. So
Okay.
yeah, as soon as that plow is off the ground, you let go.
Okay, so
And
you just
I prefer
make sure that it...
I prefer it down even just a touch more. Like down there.
But do you usually have to do both to get when you go around?
Usually do.
Oh, okay.
So stay close to the fence, G them over, and stop them and kind of sidestep them around to come right back into the furrow.
Okay, that's good.
In the process, this lever has to be turned, but I'm going to have to explain it as you go along. So try to get yourself situated around.
Step. Step. Oops.
Release your left hand a little bit. Oh. Now back them up.
Back up. Back up.
Okay, now G them.
G. G.
Cap a step. Oh. Okay, hold it. This is where the trouble comes in.
Because we're way off.
Yes, you're way off. Why don't you hop off and let me do it and get it in place.
Okay.
And then you can get an idea of what's going on. I noticed that, and I told you to release that left line because you were pulling too hard. That's all right, you can let go. Just let go. You were holding too hard on your left side, so it wasn't allowing them to turn. Hey, have you? Ha, ha. Calf step. Ha, ha, ha. Ha. Oh. So you were kind of in this position right here, right?
Uh-huh.
So you need to G them over without having them back up too much. G, G, dip, G, 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 careful, G, G. Oh. So now.
How about you just do all the corners and I'll do in the middle?
Well, you won't learn that way.
Just kidding.
So now I drop this down, and I actually have vice grips here to know where to stop it. So I just am able to go back all the way till it hits that vice grip.
See, I didn't even see what you did with that because I was filming.
So over here, this lever here turns the pole, and when I'm driving with 3 horses, it actually stays right in the center. I can't even move it right now because they're positioned where they should be. So when I'm using 2 horses, when Buck is in the furrow, this lever has to be all the way ahead. When Ken is the furrow, it has to be all the way back. But it's kind of, you have to put it in the furrow just as you're coming in, but you need to drop the plow at the same time. So it's a little bit complicated, but sometimes if you line it up properly, you can just drop the plow and then do this afterwards. So pick up your lines and head on down.
Careful step.
The hardest part by all means is the ends, getting turned around properly. After they're in the furrow and plowing, they pretty well don't miss a beat. They just walk right along and the plow stays right where it should be. Keep step.
Careful step. Brother.
They hear me talking and they want to stop. So the plow stays right where it should be, and that wheel stays along the furrow edge, and it rolls along nicely. But like we said, obviously the hardest part is on the ends, getting turned around. With 3 horses, it's a lot harder on the ends, and I just don't let anybody plow with 3 horses because there's too much risk, especially when I have their big logging shoes on. I don't want them to have someone else drive them because the chances of them stepping on each other are very high with 3 horses. Whereas with 2 horses, it's not so big of an issue. So it's a perfect time to have other people drive when I just have the 2 horses. And these 2 actually turn really well generally, but Brenda just has not had that much experience on the turning. She's done a lot of raking and tedding, things like that, but this hard, sharp turns are totally new to her.
It's pretty smooth riding.
It is.
You know, it's really nice. You hardly know that it's doing all that work back there.
I had quite a few things I wanted to explain to people, but of course, as usual, when I get out here and actually the film's going, I can't remember what they are. We have had the nicest stretch of weather that anybody could ask for this late in the fall. Here it is, 10th of November, I guess it is. So, I mean, you just can't beat the weather we've been having, but we're supposed to get a lot of rain tomorrow, so things are going to change. And up at Paul Smith College, where I'm vlogging, they are supposed to be getting some snow next week, so things are definitely going to change. There's a lot of fine adjustments to a plow that I'm not going to explain, but when it plows nice like this, it's a joy to operate. So Brenda, just as you go up through there,
Careful, step.
keep them moving and just push your lever. This one here. No. This one here.
Oh, okay.
So all you want to do is go straight and get that plow to the ground. That's all you need to worry about.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, one step at a time, right?
And be concerned that they're going to try to turn to the right, because that's the way of the barn. It's just the way they are.
Okay.
But and make sure you're right at the very end before you actually pull it up out.
Okay.
So what happens if buck starts to veer to the right, you're going to mess up your straightness of your furrow, because this will be a lot narrower cut. You want this wheel to stay right tight to that
And if
furrow
I know
wall.
Buck and I know me, he's gonna go right, because he loves to try to pull a fast one on me all the time.
Don't worry too much about this tend to driving and your foot, because the foot lever will basically do it. Just sometimes it
That would be
drags a little
super
bit.
great if just the foot worked.
Yeah, we'll just try it.
Okay, we'll try it. Careful step. Careful step.
Oh. Okay.
Whoops, didn't do it.
So what happened is you held it. This is what happens sometimes. That's why I tend to keep my hand here, because what happens is you held this down, it came up, but since it was already, you were still pushing it, the brake on it, as you could say, was still open. So as soon as you came up, it just dropped right back down again.
Okay, so you can't, I thought you had to keep your foot on it.
No.
To keep it up.
You want just till it clears the ground and then let go.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, and this plow is very heavy. It's actually quite hard to manhandle.
Well, it didn't mess it up too bad.
Didn't mess it up, it was just a little bit right here.
And Buck was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, he was. Okay.
So now I know.
You know, when I'm driving, I would just try to just sidestepping around really sharp. Don't worry too much about it. Swing up and back up. I don't care if the plow's way back here when you get done. That way you'll be lined up properly and you can go. You can't do that on the other end because you get the fence.
I know.
Here you can.
Yeah.
So just kind of loop around the best you can and just get yourself situated.
Careful step. Careful. 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 Careful.
Well,
Careful. Careful. Careful.
I mean, we can laugh at Brenda, but until you do it and get the hang of it, it's a lot harder than you think. Oh, okay. So you're never gonna make this work because your plow is way over here, and it has to be right here. At this point, this wheel should be right here. So because you're messed up in that sense, you've got to fix it now, otherwise it's too difficult to fix. So what you need to do is actually pull Ken out of the furrow, G him over there, and then back into here.
Okay. So G him over, but back, and then
G over first,
okay,
and then back straight up into here.
G, G, G.
G.
Oh.
More. G.
G, G,
G. G.
G.
Oh. Okay, now back up.
This much? Wow, back up.
Now ha on the same time.
Ha.
And head right to the careful step.
Careful step.
Careful step. Oh. Okay, stop right there. So now you're too far this way, but that's not a problem. So by grabbing this handle here and pulling the tongue over.
Because you have to do that at every end.
Yep. See, you almost gotta do it when you're moving, otherwise it don't work. Pushing against Ken, see? See how that works? It's working?
Yep.
So it's a pain. Ken, hobble a bit. Ha. Okay.
Buck did it, but not Ken.
Right now, because of that, these tires are turning that way. So I think you'll find, as soon as you go ahead, keep in the furrow, you should pretty well pull it in place, and you get closer, you grab this, squeeze that, and pull it back till you hit there.
At the end.
Right as you get to there, yes.
Oh, right now I gotta do that?
Well, you're not gonna be plowing if you don't.
Oh, right, okay.
So you pull ahead, as soon as you get there, drop that plow down.
Careful step. Careful step.
Oh. Squeeze it. Okay, so don't worry about that, because you can't pull that down easily like that. But when you ask them to go, you squeeze this and it will come right back to there, and then you let go. As soon as you ask them to go, you grab this and squeeze it at the same time. It'll suck itself right in.
I gotta do that now, you're saying?
As soon as you're moving.
Careful step. Is that
You
good?
got it. Yep. Oh. Okay. Just to explain to people, see how much sod you got showing right there? You can't really see it from there. Because of as you pulled into here, you weren't where you belonged, and I swung that over and it helped some, but still wasn't enough. You're too far from the furrow wall, so you're cutting too narrow of a furrow.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And because of that, you have the furrow is just kind of standing straight up, and I'm seeing green grass all along that furrow. And so this is back as far as it can go. So it's going to pull itself in, but for just a little, it messes up a little bit. It's not a big deal, but
yeah, I see that.
so as you're going along, kind of G him over so Buck doesn't push any more than he has to, and keep that can tight against that wall.
Okay.
Go ahead. So I'll try to explain something a little closer. See how she's right where she belongs now, and how nice that is. Nothing showing. And the difference back there, because she was cutting too narrow of a furrow. And those are the things that you learn when you're plowing. And if you have bad furrows like that, the amount of work that's involved to fit the ground is huge. A good plowing job is so well worth it, because it makes the work later on so much less. Now Brenda could plow all day long if I was out here turning the plow around for her, but obviously that's not going to happen. It would be neat to show you a big stone There's one stone right there, not very big, but if she happened to hit a big stone to watch that plow trip. But down here at the end of this field, we have very, very few stones, so it's not likely to happen. So to do plowing, it takes a lot of finesse, a lot of skills, both being able to handle the actual plow and how to handle the horses properly. I don't know if Brenda's going to do a lot of plowing, but this was as much for other people's benefit to show you how difficult this job can be unless you've got a lot of experience in driving horses and putting the plow in and out of gear. I was telling everybody, careful. I was telling everybody that if I was to turn around on both ends, you'd probably enjoy plowing.
Yeah.
But the ends are the killers.
Yeah.
So you may not.
It's just the levers and everything are just hard for me.
Right. And that's what I wanted to show to people, how difficult this actually is until you have a lot of experience doing it. And you can really make a mess fast if you don't know what you're doing. But I would say she's doing really well just the same.
Or I don't think so on the ends. I'm not.
Whether or not she'll make a plow girl, I'm not sure about that.
I'd rather just be a groomer. But I'm willing to try. I can. Got to give it a little bit more of a chance, I think.
Okay.
Even though I don't really want to, but I do.
You push that lever.
But
you push that lever when you get up there and see if you can't get out of the ground.
I hope I got the right one. Careful.
Oh.
Did I do it?
Again, you did the same thing as you did before.
I left it. I pushed it too long.
You left this on, and it dropped back down.
Well, you know, if you could only just have one thing to concentrate on.
This is one, I guess I could say, fault of this white horse plow. Even though I like this plow a lot, it is a little bit tricky sometimes with the foot lever. You know, it's got to be done just precisely or it won't work. I just got to remember, you just push it down, but you don't keep it down. Well, you still have to keep it down until the plow comes all the way up. But then you got to release it, let go really fast so it stays in place. And or have your hand here to keep pushing it down. So, okay, let's...
yeah, like how did that go all the way down there?
I just put it there.
Oh, I missed that.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the center location, and I'm going to allow you to attempt to turn around and get in place. And then if they're in place the right spot, if they're too far one way, we can adjust this. Too far the other way, we can adjust that. But don't worry about that. Just see about swing them off there and turn them into place.
But you have to, so G them over and then back them up.
If you need be. If you do really good, you can just actually G them around and go right back down through.
Is it like real tight? Like,
yes.
So just like I always think I'm killing them by making them turn so tight.
Yeah, but you're probably not going to get that. You're going to have to back them.
All right. Careful step. G. Like more? Careful. Careful, honeys.
Oh, that's pretty darn good, Brenda.
Well, good
I'm
for me.
impressed. I'm impressed.
Well, you
were in perfect right here.
Yeah.
Buck is in the furrow. Perfect.
I always think, you know how you always say, like when we're doing other implements, I'm always worried I'm gonna like break the pole or something. You know how you always are.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen. You're on wheels.
I know I'm not, but it's in my head that.
So grab this and drop it down as far as it will go. It won't go down all the way, of course, until you move.
Ooh.
Okay, and that's probably about all you get. And then on the other side, you need to put that lever all the way forward. this lever right here, all the way down.
Okay.
No, just like that. Put this lever here, all the way down.
But I thought you said this is...
Don't worry about it right now.
Okay.
This lever here, all the way down.
Okay. On when they go?
No, right now.
Or no, right now?
All the way down. You got one more notch. Okay.
Good?
Yep. And now, as you ask them to go, you can just hold one handed and ask them to go. Put your other hand here, squeeze that, and you don't have to actually pull it because it will suck itself right into the ground.
Then I don't have to worry about too far or
No,
anything?
because if you didn't have this in place, this is something that they really, I think, would make a lot better plow if it came direct from the factory that way. A way to adjust this easily, because if you don't have this here and you squeeze that and allow them to go, you'll suck it all the way down to the last.
And then what happens? It goes
Well, then you're
deeper?
too deep. Then you're too deep.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
so all you do is as soon as they start moving, squeeze this, or squeeze it even now,
Okay.
so that it'll. Yep.
Careful step. Careful.
Pull it right back. Oh. Okay. I told you it would suck right in, and apparently it didn't. But you didn't pull it right back. You were just holding it.
Yeah.
So you just need to pull it back.
Okay. Well, I thought I just had to hold it.
Okay, hold it. What's happening is it's just tight against there, so you got to pull one way or another. If you pull back a little bit, or head. There. Now grab that out of my hand. Okay, now and pull it back right to the vice grips.
Careful step. Careful.
So that almost tripped on that rock. There's another rock I almost tripped on. So let me explain something here real quick. So you can see the depth of that furrow. And back here, how much shallower that was because she didn't have it down all the way. Well, I hope this hasn't been too boring for you as we try to show Brenda a few things and other people a few things about plowing with this white horse plow. Maybe with the wind, it's not even going to work out anyways. This plow here, for people that would like to know, there's a lot of different actual mold boards that can go on this plow. This particular one is the number 5 Keystone plow. Number 5 Keystone plow. I used to have a white horse plow, just a one bottom plow, and that had the number 4 Keystone plow. And I actually think I like that one better than this one. But anyways, both of these two here and one I used to have were 14-inch bottoms. One thing I really strive to do is make sure the heel of the plow, which is right here, that is dragging nicely on the ground. When you have an uneven field with humps in it, it will never always be flat on the ground. But you want it to scrape a mark most of the places as you plow along. So I hope you enjoyed our little tutorial on plowing, and put in the comments any questions you might have. And I hope you're enjoying this nice Indian summer that we're getting, that you're having the same weather at your place, because we all know winter's on its way. So when you get to the end of the furrow, careful. Careful. Just don't worry about your hands, just push that lever until it comes up and then let go of your foot.
Okay. Push the lever with your foot.
push the lever with your foot, and
Yeah.
as soon as the plow comes up, get your foot off the lever.
Okay. That is easy. It's all the other jazz. G. G. G.
Oh. Okay.
What did I do wrong now?
Nothing really, but except for it's locked. This is kind of freewheeling. It's not
Oh.
dropped in place. And when it's only halfway, it didn't come and drop it to a notch.
I see.
Okay, so let's try this again. Halfway.
I think you should show everybody how like crazy it is with the pole before you.
Well, I just straightened it up, so it's straight now.
I know it is now, but well, show them
Okay,
after.
maybe I can show here. Brenda wants everybody to see how crazy it is with the pole. So right now, the pole is approximately straight with it. But this lever here, you have the ability to turn this pole back and forth, back and forth.
So when they're going down, it's really cockeyed when they're going down the
It is really
furrow.
cockeyed, which allows the wheel to pull into the furrow wall.
It's the first time I really noticed that, you know.
Until you actually do things, you never learn, you never realize things.
That's for sure. I would like to say that it does give you sort of this like feeling like you're like an earthy feeling, like you're one with the earth kind of a thing.
There you have it, right from the master.
Not the master. And the way novice, but it gives you a nice kind of.
I think you just need more practice.
Well, I think I do too. Like the more I do it, I'm liking it more.
Pick up bits and pieces, yeah.
Yeah. If I could, you know, master these corners, going down and back is beautiful, but
Yes.
this is hard. But I don't understand all the mechanics of it, so
Right.
that's part of my problem too.
So you may or may not ever get the hang of it, and may or may not ever continue doing it. That's going to be something that you have to decide yourself. You have so much other stuff going on.
Yeah.
But this is a lot for you, but also for other people that are learning how to plow. So
Right.
that they may be helped from what you're doing.
Yeah.
So-
Ken and Buck were very good.
Yeah.
You know, they really were good.
So,
So,
and I think
anyways, and how did you like filming? Did you enjoy it?
I'm all tired out from all this walking.
You didn't walk in the furrow very much.
You guys have a great day, because I'm tired. I'm going to go have a cup of coffee. Okay, spin yourself around. Cast out. Cast out.
And here you have it, folks. They probably don't even know what's going on.
We needed some together time.